Hey, this is Mr. Willis, and we're ready to combine this photo with the new background. Here's how you do it. At this point, if you've been working through Photoshop, you probably have your tool options down here for whatever tool that you were last using, and we want to get back to where we see the different pictures. So to do that, just click on the word Photo Bin down here in the corner, and you can see there's a picture of me and the one I'm going to place it on. Once we've got these two pictures, now I'm just going to click over on my new background picture of Captain Picard there, and then all I have to do to combine these is grab the picture of me and drag it onto the background picture, and you'll see it places them together just like that. So pause the video now, and then you can come back. Alright, if you've combined the two pictures, here's the next step. We need to do kind of some rearranging and other little bits of erasing and whatnot to really combine these. And this is where you're going to get a little bit artistic. The amount of moving and stuff you're going to do is going to vary for everyone. So first I'm going to go to the Move tool. That's the one right here that has 4 arrows and then one other little arrow up there. And that's going to let me just kind of grab, and I can move around this picture of me. Now in this case, since I'm going to try and put my face directly on top of his face, I basically want to get so I'm covering it perfectly. So first thing I think I'm going to do is, you see how my face is straight up and down and his is tilted just a little bit? So I can actually tilt the picture of me by moving my mouse to the corner and pay close attention to my pointer here. Notice how right now it's got those 2 arrows to where I could resize it. If I move it away a little more, it's got that kind of curved, bent arrow. That means I can tilt it. So I'm going to click, hold my mouse button down, and you'll see I'm just going to tilt it ever so slightly. I'm kind of watching like our noses there, so that the angle of our noses sort of line up. And let's put that over, and actually, you know what? Now that I've placed them on top of each other, I think I tilted it too much. Let's go back a little bit like that, and do as much of this tweaking as you need. The next thing I'm going to do is grab it right on the corner and resize it. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit, and I'll recenter it and say, not quite big enough. Stretch it out a little bit more, getting closer, maybe just a hair more here. And the idea is I basically want to just completely cover up his whole face with mine. Okay, so I've got him pretty much covered up. And once you think you've got it about the size about what you want, you can go ahead and hit the green check mark, and that means that your picture is in its new position. So go ahead and give that a try right now, and then after you finish that, you can come back. There's some more tips to come in this video. Alright, welcome back. So now at this point, obviously it's not going to look right if you've got my usual shirt and tie here instead of a proper, Starfleet uniform. So I need to erase some pieces of my picture down there. And for something like this, you'll have to decide which tool is going to work best. You might want to go at it with the eraser tool and just kind of erase stuff manually there. You might want to try the quick selection tool. I think that in this case, taking that quick selection tool and actually making it be the quick selection tool down here again, and you see how I can really quickly just grab my whole shirt there and leave all my neck and that area behind, is a good way to get that whole bit first. Oop, let me make sure it's got my whole tie down there. And then I'll just push the delete button on my keyboard. Oh, that's a good thing. So yes, if it says you need to simplify your layer, go ahead and click OK on that. We want the layer simplified. Delete again, and there we go. So you can see right now it's already looking a whole lot better. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that little trick you may have seen me do before, where I click on the rectangle tool, click on an empty spot to get rid of all those dotted lines. And now I can use my eraser tool and then just real easy get some of this other stuff that was kind of left there. Okay, so I'm just kind of going through now with my eraser tool, cleaning up certain bits. And I'm also going to do a special trick here with my eraser, which is down here in the tool options for my eraser, I'm going to click on the brush, and you'll see I have lots of different styles of brushes here, and I'm going to roll down in here until I get some of these where it's got, you see it has kind of a fuzzy edge on the outside of it. This is pretty useful. Actually, let's get one maybe just a little bit bigger there. And so watch how this works now. Now when I go up here and erase, you see how the edge isn't a solid line? This works really well for kind of blending things together. And so I'm going to kind of go along the top of his collar there, and what I'm kind of going for is I'm hoping that his neck, like the little bit where you'll see his neck on top of the collar, will blend right into mine. And so I can kind of go along there, erase all of that, and so now we're getting something looking, getting a little closer here. Sometimes it also helps to do a tool like that even along the sides here. You see how I can kind of see his ear behind? So I can actually kind of make it like his ear is blending right into my ear. Do the same over there. I know the color seems weird right now, but I'll fix that in just a moment here. And so there we go. Now it's starting to look like I'm really turning into Captain Picard there. I'll go ahead and maybe shrink this down just a tiny bit so it fits in there a little better. But those are some of the techniques you'll use to really start blending these two pictures together. Now one of the other big ones is color, but I'll save some of that stuff for another video.